So the Birthplace Trust cares for the 5 Shakespeare houses in and around Stratford. It looks after a vast collection of library and museums objects, and it also has a thriving educational programme. And we're delighted to be working with the University of Birmingham on this exciting new MA programme of Shakespeare and Creativity, because what that does is it opens up everything we can offer as an organisation to students doing the course in order to come here, immerse themselves in the collections and how we might make those collections real to the hundreds of thousands of visitors who pass through Shakespeare's Birthplace and the other houses each year. For example, you might like to come and design an exhibition based on precious items in the collection. What stories might you tell about Stratford and Shakespeare? Might they become performances in some of the Shakespeare gardens? What kinds of creative endeavour might result in a variety of expressions depending on the student's own interests and enthusiasms and abilities? There are 2 great Shakespeare libraries in Stratford. One of them is at the Shakespeare Institute and the other is here, and they complement each other very closely and very well. We have 55,000 volumes relating to Shakespeare's work, life and times, including about 1,000 rare books which he would have seen for sale on Jacobean and Elizabethan bookstalls, and which we know he used in order to write the plays. So we can show where Shakespeare came from, where his creativity came from, the material he was engaged with. And we work very closely with the Shakespeare Institute on a number of projects, research projects especially. We have lots of students coming here to use the Shakespeare Centre Library who are registered for higher degrees at the Shakespeare Institute. I myself was a student at the Shakespeare Institute and shuttled across town, as it were, between the 2 libraries for the project I was working on. And it's really a close and collegial association which we enjoy. Well, speaking from my own experience as a student here, Stratford is a fantastic place to study. I like to think of it as the whole town is almost like a college, that you can start a conversation at the Shakespeare Institute that can continue during the interval of a play that you might be seeing at the Royal Shakespeare Theatre, and then the next morning when you're shopping on Henley Street outside the Birthplace or in the library here. So it's a small town with an enormous sense of opportunity and material in which you can immerse yourself, and knowledge in this place too. I'm holding just one item from our collection which is made of mulberry wood, and this is an incredibly precious medallion which was awarded to the great 18th century actor David Garrick. He was invited by Stratford to produce a celebration of Shakespeare in the town of Stratford. It became known as the Stratford Jubilee, sometimes the Garrick Jubilee of 1769. The town hall was recently built and he was invited to celebrate Shakespeare, and he was awarded this mulberry medallion of Shakespeare which he wore in honour of Shakespeare around the whole of the Jubilee. And this represents really one project which we're working currently with the University of Birmingham on, which is looking at Garrick's Jubilee afresh and also civic expressions of Shakespeare throughout the world as we approach the great anniversary year of 2016, 400 years since Shakespeare died. And this is one of many items relating to the 1769 Jubilee which we care for here.